Hey guys, what's up? It's Black Slice bringing you guys another video of Kingdom Hearts, and this is probably the most you've heard me in a week, so I think you might want to get used to it a little bit. Let's see what happens. But today we're going to talk about what Kingdom Hearts has done right. But first, before that, I wanted to let you guys know that I finally beat Yozora, so I'm going to post that video and I'll have a short trailer of it at the end. But for now, let's get started. I'm excited about this one, and as you can tell, I'm actually excited that I finally beat Yozora, so I'm really hyped. Let's get started with what Kingdom Hearts has done right. So my big thing here is the secret boss. Pause. I'm not talking about the secret boss that we have right now, that's Yozora. No, I'm talking about the secret boss from the old version, which is the Dark Inferno. So what do I mean? Because actually he wasn't even that bad of a boss. Of course, we beat him at level maybe 40. Some of us are doing level 1 runs on him very easy. He wasn't too exciting of a battle. But my issue with him in the game is that he had no purpose other than being a secret boss. Granted, we do have Sephiroth in other games, but that's perfectly fine. I think we enjoyed Sephiroth, and his purpose in the game was just to be a secret boss, but he was introduced through Final Fantasy games. So I think we were all fine with that. Dark Inferno, on the other hand, he was just what seemed to be a Heartless that had no other purpose than being a secret boss in no other game but in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, what Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind did is that it gave him a purpose. While we're playing as Sora through Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind, we see that we're going through the people's hearts and we go through Ventus's heart. And in Ventus's heart, there's this darkness in there, and that darkness happens to be Dark Inferno. That is the purpose that he's been given in this game. He is part of the darkness that we see in Union Cross. I'm going to pause there real fast. For those of you guys that, again, don't see Union Cross, I'm going to make another video later. I decided this a few minutes ago, actually. I'm going to make another video that talks about why you should consider playing Union Cross, or at least keep up with the content. The game is very tedious to play. There are nearly 1,000 missions, so it's kind of hard for you to get into, but I think you should still play it so then you can have a little bit more on the lore, because the lore is going to be important as we move forward. Anyways, coming back to this, what I was talking about, Dark Inferno is part of the darkness that's within Ventus, and in Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind, we're shown that when we're inside of Ventus's heart, we're teleported, the darkness grabs us, and then we're teleported back into the Keeley Graveyard, the place where you normally fight Dark Inferno, and we have to beat him. Granted, they did dumb him down a little bit, so then he was easier to beat, otherwise would be destroyed. He didn't have the red mode. I think he only had the purple. I haven't fought him in a while. I fought him 5 months ago. He might have actually had no changes, so the intensity for the battle never changed. He just had the basic combos, and his hits didn't take too much damage. But anyways, in terms of a new boss battle, he became significantly weaker so that we could progress through the game. But overall, he was actually a good boss in this case because he was given a purpose instead of just being a boss that's in the game. And that's one key thing that I'm happy about that they did in Kingdom Hearts 3. Next, I'm going to talk about... Give me a second. Let me look at my list. Next, I want to talk about the Power of Awakening. And I'm actually going to also throw in the Disney Worlds and Sora's death into this one category. So, this game didn't fix the fact that the Disney Worlds weren't too relevant in terms of Sora finding out more about the Power of Awakening. And for anyone that has to say that the Disney Worlds were important because they taught Sora how to sacrifice, play Kingdom Hearts 1, play Kingdom Hearts 2, play Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Sora knows how to sacrifice. Kingdom Hearts 1, literally the first game, he stabs himself, sacrifices himself so that you can bring back Kairi. He knows sacrifice. These entire sets of Disney Worlds didn't teach him sacrifice. To me, in my opinion, they're just a set of Disney Worlds that are there just to be there to introduce a new princesses of light, and that's all they are. So, I probably should have mentioned in the last video. I'm going to just bring it in over here, but the game didn't really fix that. But in terms of the Sora's death and the Power of Awakening, it did a very good job of fixing this. Essentially, Sora's death at the end of the first time we played Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2019 when it first came out, and we finished the game, Sora just randomly disappears. This game gave us closure and showed us what actually happened. Sora finds Kairi and disappears. We all knew that from the first time, but now we know the sequence of events that happened that caused him to disappear. And that's mainly because they elaborated more on the power of awakening. Without them elaborating on the power of awakening, we get none of that. And that's the great thing. So basically what happens in Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind is that in order for Sora to get Kairi, he has to travel through everyone's hearts to try finding pieces of her to bring her back. I believe that's what's happening. Could be wrong. I'm fine if someone corrects me. But basically we have to travel through everyone's hearts, and when we bring everyone back together, when you find that connection, I think that's probably a better way to say it. When we find that connection to Kairi from everyone, we're able to bring her back to life. And by doing that, though, by having Sora travel through people's hearts to bring someone back, Sora risks his life and risks himself vanishing. And we find that out, and that actually helps us get more closure with the ending. And actually, I'm thinking that the reason that Kairi cries is not because Sora disappears. If we watch the ReMind version of this, or at least for me, when I watched it the second time after I beat the ReMind game, we see that Kairi's crying before Sora disappears. I think Sora tells Kairi at that moment, hey, this is the risk I took, this is what's going to happen, and I'm going to disappear. And then Kairi cries, and Sora disappears. So as sad as that was, this Kingdom Hearts ReMind did it right by showing us the sequence of events that happens that cause Sora to disappear. Otherwise, we just don't get that closure. And I forgot what his name is, but Afro something, he said it right when he said that ending that we got the first time was not deserved. This time around, it was very much deserved. Next up, I wanted to talk a little bit about Roxas. Not too much, but Roxas appearing didn't make too much great sense in the first time around. In ReMind, they did it a little bit better. Essentially, Roxas is able to come back because literally Sora has a connection, and it's because Sora is traveling through the through everyone's hearts, using the power of awakening, that Roxas is able to find his way to them. And honestly, I think adding that part into the battle at the Keyblade Graveyard, where Roxas is able to come back and they showed the sequence of events, they did it right. Even the entire thing with Naminé and Lingering Will, all these little details that they added into Keyblade Graveyard made the game so much better. And I think if they had it the first time, instead of us having to play basically the Keyblade Graveyard a third time, the first time, well, we didn't play through the entire thing, but the first time we get until right after I call it the 10,000 Heartless battle, but it's more like infinite because you can go on for as long as you want. But we get right up to the part where we meet Terranort, and essentially Terranort completely destroys us. And then he doesn't completely destroys us. He destroys everyone. I mentioned it in one of my other videos. Donald wrecks him, and then essentially we have the Devil's Wave, the Demon Tide. Yeah, those things come and they essentially wipe out all of the Guardians of Light. So essentially, what we got here was just the first time around, and then we have Sora coming back. And essentially what Sora does is he again goes using the power of awakening. He goes through the stations of awakening, and then he's able to wake up all the Keyblade wielders. And then we go through the second time at the Keyblade Graveyard, and we beat everyone. But then Kairi dies. Sora wants to bring her back, so we have to go through this a third time. And essentially, we just have Keyblade Graveyard over and over again, when I think having to do that 3 times is ridiculous. We could just have maybe 2 times. yes, it was good to show that that battle was not on their side. They needed help from the past in order to pass through the demon tide or the demon tornado. I don't know what the names we've been giving it, but essentially, what is important here is that by adding ReMind, we're able to get closure for all of the characters. All the events that happen at the Keep Graveyard make more sense, and it's great that that's able to happen, because without that ReMind, Keep Graveyard is, in my opinion, trash. I'm gonna just leave it there. It's just trash. The point for this was Roxas, but I guess at the end of the day, I'm bringing Keep Graveyard together as one. Alright, so next, I think I only have one other thing to talk about, and this is, I promised that I'll have another video for this, but I'm going to put it into this video, and that is the data battles. And I'm also going to throw Yuzora into this, because the data battles, you have no idea how happy I am about the data battles. So, we play Kingdom Hearts 3 the first time. The only secret boss we have is Dark Inferno, and that gives us nothing. The maximum amount of satisfaction we get from that is, yeah, we have a secret boss to fight, something to hold us off. Oh wait, we've fought this guy maybe 20 times now, beaten him. There's no more excitement from that. We're not even level 99, and we're able to beat him. There's no excitement in that. Again, granted, people are doing level 1 runs. That's fine. I'm not one that can do level 1 runs, and I'm sure most people also, it's not that we can't do it, it's just that we don't put our time into doing those kind of runs. And I'm gonna give everyone that does those level 1 runs credit, because they are amazing at the game. They have great timing. They just know what they're doing. They know the game to the point. And again, I'm not gonna take any credit away. They are great players. But for us who aren't that great players, and we have only Dark Inferno, and we're level 40, 50, maybe beating him, it just wasn't satisfying. What ReMind did is that it brought in 13 data battles and Yuzora, and I'm not going to talk about those fights that we have within the not the limited cutscenes, but the additional content from the new DLC. But essentially, because those fights from the DLC weren't actually that difficult, I fought them and I beat them really fast. I guess it helped that I was level 99, but it wasn't that difficult. The 13 data battles that were introduced, those go above and beyond anything that I've ever expected from the game, honestly. I can remember each of the data battles I maybe fought at the minimum 5 times, and I can just say this right now, those data battles took a lot out of me. I tried doing maybe 2 a day, and it might have worked for the first few, but once I got to Xion, there was like a big pause, a 2-week, 3-week in between, and then I got to Master Xehanort. There was a big break in between Xion and Master Xehanort because I just couldn't figure it out, and then when I figured him out, there was Yuzora. I actually gave up for a while fighting Yuzora because I just couldn't do it and I had to deal with school. But now again, school's over, I still have to do my research, and that's on my top priority. But I also do want to get this content out because I did post a video that said my big thing now is, not my big thing, but one of the things that I want to do is get this content out. The point of this channel is to see you guys Kingdom Hearts, and as we move forward, we might expand into other things. You might be getting to that point soon, actually, and we'll explore that when we get to that. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Essentially, there was a huge break in between Master Xehanort and Yuzora, and only today, this is being recorded on May 28th, only today did I beat Yuzora, and you have no idea the amount of nerves that went through me while I was fighting him. The first phase, I had an easy time. The desperation move, I started to feel the struggle. And then we get to the second phase. I've only been to the second phase twice. I beat him on the second time. And the first time on the second phase, I got him down to 3 health, and I was like, okay, cool. I wish I could beat him. That would have been better. And then when I get him down there to the second time, I got to the point where he used the desperation move. He did the ball that absorbs and like blows up. And I almost messed up there because I got hit by him and I was being moved back to the ball, but I was trying to avoid the ball. And then I realized, wait, if I'm already going to the ball right now and he's hitting me. If I keep on dodging, my health is going to go down and I'm going to die. So I need to react. And again, no other boss battle, not Dark Inferno, didn't get me close to that kind of thought process. I had to think on my feet at that moment, because if I keep on trying to get away from the ball, I die and I have to do the entire battle again, and I don't have the video posted for whenever I'm going to post it. Actually, I was planning on posting it for tomorrow, which is Friday the 29th, but I think I'm going to move it to be Monday because I want to send this video out on Saturday and that video will come out on Monday. But anyways, I digress. No, wait, no, that was all on point. That was not even a single tangent. Essentially, Yuzora, Master Xehanort, Xion, those boss battles had me on my feet. When I got them down to like the 2-3 health mark point, I could feel my hands shaking. I was messing up. I had to heal. I had to find some way to get health because I don't like using items. I had to figure something out. I had to be innovative at that moment. And no boss battle has had me do that. I'm even going to go back to Kingdom Hearts 2 because people might argue that Lingering Will was a lot harder than Yuzora. I will never argue that because for Lingering Will, I had Donald and Goofy next to me. I had my form changes. Final form was a monster against him. Basically, you hit him into a combo. Like, if you get him, he has open framed for attack. If you can get him within that open frame, then you're perfectly fine. If you can't, that's a different issue. My phone might be running out of space, so I might need to hurry up and finish this recording. But essentially, this game managed to make it so that we, when we were fighting the bosses, we had to think on our feet, we had to react. And last video I said that there were some boss battles that were very repetitive and they didn't have too much very variety. I say that, but still I had to be on my feet despite knowing what was coming next because, again, I'm not that great at timing, and this game made me have to get better at timing. If you watch me play Kingdom Hearts 2, I barely ever block, I just kind of mash X. If you watch me play Kingdom Hearts 3 against Dark Inferno, I try not blocking, I just try mashing, I try finding a way to attack. And Yuzora is kind of a bad example because I figured out a way to do that, but they did very good on the secret battles, and I'm very happy about that. That's an A+ on their side. I'm happy for them. Anyways, as promised, here is the trailer for my next video, which is the Yuzora battle. I hope you like it, and let me know what you think.
Yeah! Yeah! Back off! Back off!
Nice try.
Take this!
Okay, so like I said, let me know what you think. My camera is actually going to run out of space soon, so I need to delete a bunch of pictures that I take because I love taking pictures. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you don't agree with anything that I've said. If you like what I said, please like the video, subscribe, and this is Black Slice signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I did it in the wrong order, whatever.